Line what? Oh. We'll figure out more of those details in a minute. But first, we got to say hi to Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Hello, Mr. Trump.
How are you? So why weren't you guys chosen first? Why did you have to go second?
Because we're smart.
Donald.
Yeah, you're a businessman.
You're a smart guy.
There's a real estate expression. The third one in or the second one in usually makes the money, okay?
See?
So you did it right.
We're smart guys.
If you really think about it, you are much better off this way, aren't you?
Right. There's no other way but up right now.
Nah,
we've been joking in the press, once removed is the place to be, but I truly believe that because you walk around these halls and there's a lot of people that are very humbled.
Mm-hmm.
And these same people would be, a-holes if we stepped in right after Howard left.
Well, I've been in those halls many times, and I will tell you, it is not an easy game to follow.
No.
Howard, and he's a hell of a guy, and it was a disaster. What happened? And I'm sure Howard couldn't be happier. And now you guys are in, and I understand you're doing really well.
Well, this is the move, Donald. This was the move all along.
Very good. If you really think about it, it would have been a total disaster. You just want to sort of do it second. I agree with you.
And you know about the importance of consolidation,
right,
Donald. We are doing both. We're doing terrestrial radio and satellite radio.
No, I know that.
And we're on the air about 6 hours a day now. How stupid are we?
We're hard workers.
What would be the difference between the two shows? Would you say you're a little more aggressive on the other, on satellite?
Well,
we could cover some topics that we might not be able to touch here on terrestrial radio due to certain federal regs.
Is there a big difference?
There was a lot of stuff we were doing on our satellite radio show that we could have done on regular radio. So it's just a matter of, trying to figure out the balance, because we still want to be edgy when we're on just the commercial radio stations.
Right. A lot of people have told me that after the first couple of weeks of, feeling free to use the worst language in the world, it's like, hey, there's not going to be that much. I mean, you're going to be you. You guys are going to be you, regardless of where you are, I would think.
Right. And we're trying to be, a funnier show these days. We're trying to leave the crazy, let's get fired stunts. We're going to try to retire those for a little while.
So let me ask you this. Which is more important for you? Which radio? Let's say you had one choice to succeed on one.
Uh-oh.
Which would you choose?
Oh, see, that's not fair.
Donald, they're both equally as important in different ways.
No, but if you had one choice, if you could only do it on the so-called free, as they say,
Donald,
or satellite, which would you choose?
Donald, you understand what's going on here. We got two wives.
Right.
We got to make both wives happy.
I know that.
That's the problem.
I know that.
So if you say, well, of course it's satellite radio, then you got these guys yelling and screaming at you.
Donald, let me ask you to choose between your children.
I understand.
See?
No, I understand.
Yes,
well,
they're like our children.
Audience. It's a much, at this moment at least, it's a much larger audience in free. I mean, it's a much, much larger audience, but it's a different audience. I mean,
it is like choosing from your children. Which one is the model earning her own keep, and which one is the son just taking Donald's money?
Well, the one thing I will say about free is I did Howard's show, one of his last shows, and literally in his last week. And I left the studio at 57th Street, and I walked to Trump Tower, which was about a half a block, and 11 people shouted out their windows, "Great show, Donald, great show, we love the show." And that's a pretty big audience, when you think of it.
Yeah.
And, it's not easy for somebody like Howard to get that, to give that up. Now, he may very well be able to build up an audience of similar size on satellite.
It's going to take a really long time. He went for the paycheck. We all know that.
Well, he did the right thing.
He went for the paycheck.
It's like he's been doing this stuff for a long time, so he did the absolute right thing. But for a while, it's going to be, it's going to. He might very well build it up. But that free audience is a very, very vast audience that you're on right. By the way, that we happen to be on right now.
Right now.
Hey, Donald, I need a place to live in Manhattan.
Well, call me. I'll get you a nice apartment. $10, $12, $15 million.
Yeah.
That's it?
I've been looking in a lot of Donald's buildings. They're terrific.
Which ones have you looked at?
Down near the water.
Oh, they're great. Well, I'll tell you what. If you need seriously, you know my number. You'll get it from Big Jim Dowd or somebody. But if you need something, you let me know.
I'm looking for a 2-bedroom for something like maybe $100,000 or less.
You're looking for a rent. You're looking to take over a rent-controlled lease, but not even 100 for nothing.
The price.
We have a thing in New York where you have some of the richest people in New York living in rent-controlled units. It's one of the great shams of all time.
It's amazing. Yeah, their rent is what, like $100 a month.
No, and
or
then
something?
they stay in the apartment until they die. It's like until death.
And the best part is their own kids are trying to kick them out.
Right. The kids want them out. The kids want them to die because they want to sneak in.
Well, the kids want, they want to make money on the place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story about some guy who was kicking out his aunt and his own mother or something.
Right.
It was a rent-controlled place. They were paying $100 a month or something. And he wanted them out so he could raise it up to a few $1,000s a month.
I had a woman who lived in one of my apartments who was paying a tiny, tiny amount of rent. Like you wouldn't even, it's almost embarrassing. And this was on Central Park South. But she actually lived in a townhouse on the east side of Manhattan that was valued at many, many millions of dollars. And it was only that we found, and this is years and years, we found her living there, so she immediately went back to the apartment. And, we fought with her for years in court trying to tell the court she wasn't living there. You have no idea. The system is so bad. But it's one of those things. It's called Welcome to New York. I mean, the good news is guys like me that build buildings, in rent control, you can't move people out. I mean, you can't. It's impossible unless you pay them, in some cases, many, many millions of dollars. So you can't move them out. The good news is it makes sites totally unavailable, so guys like me do better because we get the sites.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the West Side Highway? Somebody said that you're trying to get like a big piece of that knocked down, or what are you trying to do?
Well, no, the West Side Highway, we worked that deal. That job has been sold. I mean, that whole job, that was, for me, that was an incredible labor of love. That worked out amazingly. It's been an amazing job. I did an amazing job. But what happened is we wanted to close the West Side Highway so as not to bother the people living in the area.
I agree.
And it worked out. Not the whole highway, just the exit.
All right, that exit, that convenient exit over there, yeah.
And I'm with Donald because I looked at an apartment in one of your buildings over there.
Right.
And it was on the second floor.
Not bad. Which view?
The view of the traffic that looks like is coming through your living room.
Well, it's a little exciting. Well, it would be nice.
Yeah, and the realtor was great. It's like,
he sells it. It's exciting.
But that's how the realtor sells it. They're brilliant. They're like
40-story buildings over there. Why don't you try going a little higher?
Well, I did. I've looked at a bunch of places in those buildings, but on the second floor, the realtor was perfect. Like, it's a very exciting, energetic apartment.
You really feel like you're here in the city.
Yeah, and she goes, you could get these curtains that raise from the floor, so you don't see the actual cars that look like are flying through your living room.
Mr. Trump will brick up your windows if you want.
That's a great idea. Curtains that raise from the floor. That's a damn good idea.
Well, there you go. But then there's other people that enjoy that energy. I need to be a lot higher up. So Donald, how's the new kid?
The new child is beautiful and healthy and good, and Melania is very healthy, and it's really worked out good. In fact, I just sent the baby out of the room because I didn't want the baby screaming during the interview.
Hey, we talked to you just before the kid was born, and we asked you about the diaper changing, and you're not going to be changing any diapers,
well,
right?
So far I haven't had to, but that's really up to Melania. I would do it certainly if they wanted, if she wanted, but it's not her thing. I mean, she loves what she's doing. She does it great. She's going to be a great mother. The baby is very healthy and happy, and if I ever have to change diapers, I'd absolutely do it. But
no,
it's not something that I really. I think it's cute and everything. It doesn't, but it's just not my deal.
When was the last time you changed a diaper?
About 24 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right after the first big deal went through.
Probably Ivanka.
Yeah.
Wow.
Long time ago.
How do you get out of that chore? There's a lot of guys listening to right now going, how do you get out of that chore?
How?
Well, it depends. I mean, there are a lot of great wives that want you to change diapers, and there are a lot of great wives that really want to do it themselves. And, I happen to have a great wife who wants to do it herself.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's wives out there that want to do it themselves.
I think the Amex card that she has probably helps out a little bit.
Well, this is Melania's first child, and she can't get enough of the kid. I mean, it's like amazing. And so, she really likes it. She loves doing it. Actually, a homemaker, a great person that loves to be a homemaker, and the word homemaker is a good word, not a bad word. There are women who work just as hard as we all do that want to be homemakers, and that's what they do, and they do it great.
Yeah.
And she is just in that mode.
I was at your roast I went to. How hard was it for you to sit there and take all that abuse?
Well, that was a tough roast. I mean, those roasts are rough. I did one with Don King where I was the chairman, and that was a brutal roast also. But, those you're talking about the Friars Club.
Yeah.
That was a pretty rough deal. Do you agree?
Yeah.
We were all there, but we had the worst seats in the house.
Well, you should have called me. I would have gotten you up front.
Oh, no, we had Rich Voss. He said, hey, he was going to take care of us. We were way up on the balcony behind the large screen you guys were staring at.
Well, see, now what you'll do is now you'll be on the dais because of the importance of this show.
Yeah, that's right.
You know where Howard always sat was on the balcony. He'd sneak in, and he'd go up to the balcony and watch. And he didn't want to have a lot of people around him, so he'd actually just go up to a box in the balcony, and he'd watch the show from there. Those boxes aren't bad, actually.
Well, Rich Voss was, on the dais, whatever, and he's like, I got tickets for you guys. Anthony and I and then Jimmy were the only ones taking an elevator to our seats while everyone else was filing in the main doors. It's embarrassing.
I know the seats you're talking about, and if you want privacy, it's great. If you don't want privacy, it's not so good.
John Wilkes Booth was behind us. It was awful. I met you backstage, too. Dumb Rich Voss. I really annoyed you. Like, I was trying to get pictures of all the celebrities back there, and I see you, and I got a picture with him. Like, can I get a picture? And you just put your arm around me and went, let's go.
Right.
He's a busy man.
I really annoyed Donald.
Donald, before we let you go, the Freedom Tower. What's your opinions on this damn thing?
Well, I think Larry Silverstein actually made a very good deal. He's getting criticized for probably not. I think he probably made a great deal. I think the state is spending a lot of money to get it built, and I think Larry comes out smelling like a rose, if you want to know the truth.
Well, when are we going to see something down there?
Well, they're starting it now. The state's going to throw money at it so that they all look better. And they're going to throw more money at it than they ever dreamt possible. And this way they'll look better, and Larry Silverstein will make a lot of money, and that's the way life goes, and that's the way politics is. But all these politicians, that were clamoring, go, 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 they end up throwing a pile of money in Larry Silverstein's face, and he says, thank you very much. I will build it for you.
Yeah, don't you think they should just build the original towers?
Well, that was
stronger. Yeah.
I said, and it wasn't so unique, but I said you should rebuild the World Trade Center essentially as it was, one story taller and stronger.
Stronger and better, right?
That's what it should do. So that's what they should have done. If they did that, every one of these politicians would have been the most popular guys. Instead, they're building a relatively unattractive building. It's ridiculous.
Why are they not doing that? Does it have anything to do? Are they afraid that no company will put their workforce above a certain floor?
Well, I'm not sure that any company will put their workforce in any of those buildings anyway. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to want to be on that site.
It's been done, though.
See, that's the site where they should have moved the United Nations. They should have moved the United Nations to that site instead of rebuilding the United Nations.
How about moving the United Nations to, like, South Carolina somewhere where not a lot of people work?
Well, the United Nations is good for us. It's poorly run. I mean, Kofi Annan doesn't know. I guess he probably does know what he's doing, but certainly his son knows what his son is doing.
Nothing better than...
Kofi Annan is a total catastrophe. Remember when the United Nations used to be... respected when you had Dag Hammarskjöld and these guys, and there used to be like this great level of respect. Today, it's a terrible organization.
Well, Kofi Annan is really good because, like, whenever a situation's happening somewhere, he sends people to watch it, which is kind of nice.
To watch. You ever hear of them solving anything?
No, they stink.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's it's such an important thing. It'll be back, but it's such an important thing. It's such an important institution, and it's just got to be one of the worst-run institutions in the world. So it's too bad.
All right. Hey, what are we promoting today, Donald?
We're promoting The Apprentice tonight at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
It continues to get great ratings. In fact, it's getting much higher ratings than... it's just doing great. It's been amazing. It went on the air 2 years ago. It became the #1 show on television. It was doing great, and it continues to do great. They now moved it to Monday night at 9. And it actually has higher ratings now than the shows that replaced it. They wanted to move comedies to Thursday night. And I just see that we beat them this week in the ratings pretty soon. I mean, it's amazing what's happened with The Apprentice. It just continues to get good ratings.
All right. Very good. I want to live in one of your buildings, Mr. Trump.
Anytime you want, you let me know. They all have my number. I love your show. I was going to reprimand you for being on number 2, but the truth is you were geniuses. What a great move that is, huh?
It's easier when you're walking the hallways. That's what it comes down to. Tom Chiusano, he's the nicest.
Tom is a really good guy, and you tell him I heard he was a very good golfer. That'll make his day. But I hear Tom's a good golfer.
How about
anytime he wants to play my course up in Westchester or New Jersey, he could let me know.
How about a 4 handicap, sir?
Is he a 4?
That's what I'm hearing.
A friend of mine told me that Tom's a good golfer.
But he shot an 83 this weekend.
That's all right. Do you play golf? Do you play golf also?
Yes, I do.
Well, I have a course in Westchester County that has been rated like as good as it gets. So,
but you can't come.
Sorry, you can't come. Bushwood.
Right.
What is your handicap?
These days it's up there. I mean, I'll shoot in the 90s, no problem.
All right,
still.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's called having a lot of fun.
Right.
I just came back from Scotland. I bought 1,000 acres in Scotland along the ocean.
Of course he did.
And I'm going to do a golf course, a golf complex there that's going to be beyond anything that's been.
I bought a new couch.
Yeah, I know. What could you
I came
talk
back,
about?
You know why I came back a little early was to do your show. Do you believe this?
Really?
I landed an hour earlier so I could do your show. I just got off the plane.
I got to admit, this phone call's been going very well, and I'm thinking, man, we're relating to Donald Trump, and then you have to pull that little tidbit out.
He bought Scotland.
He bought Scotland, and I bought a brand new couch from Pottery Barn.
I bought a massage with a happy ending for $120.
Right.
Well, in about 2 years, you'll go to Scotland and you'll play the course that we're building over there, and you will say that's as good as it gets. Have a good time.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Mr.
Say hello
Trump.
to everybody. I'll see you soon. Good luck,
cool.
fellas.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Good move in being number 2.
Once removed, yes. All right.
long.
Thanks. It's Donald Trump, everyone. Check out The Apprentice.
Donald, as they call him.
That was fun.
God, can you imagine being that rich. Guy, I just want to buy a piece of Scotland so I can build a golf course. How kind of money is that?
And who's he kidding? Rich people don't have to change diapers.
No.
Rich guys don't have
That's
to
what it
change
is.
diapers. That's what it comes down to.
That's why. It's not that she is such a lovely girl, which, I don't know her, but that she doesn't want to, she wants to change diapers and allows him to not change diapers. Forget about it. The amount of money he's pulling in, he doesn't change diapers.
That's nothing about his wife.
If I had that kind of money, I would just take diapers off and throw them out the window onto poor people. Just lob them onto the public.
But you still got to clean the kid. Still got to wipe the.
Why didn't think that
nannies.
far in advance? I just think
Maybe just
Nannies are for.
maybe hose. Yeah, exactly.
Hose him down with Perrier.
All right, we'll take a break. It's the Opie and Anthony program.